Hey, how's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good Monday. That's what day it is, right? Yeah, good Monday, almost end of the summer. I hope everyone's enjoying it. Um, Something I want to talk about today. No one specifically asked me to address this, but I felt like, you know, just being being a male and and being a boy myself a long time ago, I felt like I'm in some position to address it. What I want to talk about is, you hear a lot now, like my boy's diagnosed with ADD, my boy's diagnosed with ADHD. He won't sit still. His teacher's saying he won't sit still in class. He doesn't want to sit still. He doesn't want to sit there and do what he's told. Blah 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 blah. And then they get Ritalin or whatever other type of medicine to help the boy calm down. And I know it happens with girls, but it's much less common. Uh, but so specifically, most of these boys do not have ADD or ADHD. They are not interested in doing what's presented to them. They're simply not, especially in school. They do not want to sit there. If you're in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, most of these boys do not want to sit there and draw or make arts and crafts or whatever project that the teacher is coming up with. And I know they mean well, but a lot of these are like middle-aged women that were never rambunctious boys, and now they're even older than some of the rambunctious girls so like they just cannot comprehend. And even if they do comprehend, in most cases they're not giving the leeway to, there's so many kids. It's not like they can send half the kids outside to go explore in the woods. They're handcuffed. But you hear this all the time where they get tested, and then they suggest you get medicine, or like they get in trouble at school or what have you. um, you know, it is completely normal for a little boy to not want to sit there. I'm 35 years old. I went to a good undergraduate school. I have my MBA, successful by some normal measure or whatever that is. I still don't want to sit still. Like, I'm 35, 3 kids. Well past, whatever my athletic or, testosterone prime was. But I'll sit still and read, and then I'm like, all right, I got to get up and move. I got to get. I start getting antsy myself. So you can only imagine, these boys, really what the school regimen should be, and I think there should be more awareness to this, and I'm not sure how it can be changed. But at the very least, most fathers might have some understanding because they lived it. But like, really, to the mothers, they haven't lived it, but they have a deep concern for their son, and like, there's nothing wrong with this kid. There's nothing wrong. Why do you keep saying there's something wrong with him? But they just don't have that experience, or they start questioning themselves, like, have I been, am I doing a good job being a mother? There's nothing wrong with your boy. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. In all reality, until a kid, a young, highly active boy needs to get all of the energy out before they can sit down and do productive, like, intelligent, not that doing work outside is intelligent, but before they can sit down and do some intellectual work, or make a picture or something where they're just sitting down and very calmly working on something, they almost need their energy out. So like, the fact that these kids have like such limited time at recess, limited time to gym, I mean, one of the biggest things I would say, and I know it's hard because, like, if the kid doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it. But if you can wake up early with them before school and like find something to do where they get their energy out, whether it be running around in the backyard chasing them, or somehow getting them to like, hey, we need a hold dog, or something made up, like carrying stuff back and forth. I mean, if you tell them that they need something done, or you need something done, or like dad needs something done, they need help with something, they are very, they want to show how strong they are, or how athletic they are. So they will very happily do it. But they're not necessarily going to go find stuff on their own to do. So they just need, hey, can you help with this? Or, can you do this? But that's the biggest thing I would say is you gotta, if you're in school, if they're in school and they don't really want to sit still, you almost have to wake them up in the morning, get them moving, and get a good deal of their energy out before they even get there. And ideally, really what a school should be set up for active boys is pretty much most of the mornings, except for like extreme heat, extreme cold, extreme, ice or something like that. Most of the mornings really should be spent outside doing physical activity. Because then once they get their energy out, then they can sit down and then they can use their mind, and then they can, and they can use their mind outside too, which is helpful. But like, book work and things like that, book work, indoor work, where they're sitting down. There's nothing wrong with these kids. It's just, that's not what highly active boys were tailored to do. It's what they were never tailored to do. They were never meant to do that for thousands of years. And to sit there and ask them now, that's why they give them drugs, because it's not natural. Like it's never been natural, and the only way to make it even somewhat natural is to load them up on drugs. That's not normal. So it's not good. And it's not what the answer should be. It's just like a blanket. Okay, we have 25 kids in the class. Your kid won't sit still. I can't tailor this to him and his, one other kid, and so I'm just going to give him drugs because otherwise I can't control him. Well, they're not meant to do what you're giving them, and it's never been like that. And so. Anyone sitting there saying like, there's something wrong with your kid, or you're doing X, Y, and Z wrong, like I really think you should get them looked at. It's all bull. It's all bull. It's not being done to help your child. It's being done to simply control them. And yes, every kid needs some control, because otherwise they'll do completely crazy stuff. But self-control, learning how to get their energy out and be productive, or learning to tailor their energy into productive activity, is the self-control that they need. It is not drugs that really just mask any sense of control, because then they can become completely dependent on the drug, and they never learn the ability to control themselves. So the drug acts like a crutch, and it will be a crutch for the rest of their life. I mean, if you're given a drug when you're 5 years old, you're going to be dependent on it for the rest of your life, and you will always need that drug. And it will be, if you ever want to come off it, is going to be a massive fight and a massive, massive issue, a major issue in your life. So. I do not suggest it. If there's anything that you want to, if you want to try to do, if you want to try to get their energy out, if you can't have a school tailored to their needs, you need to try to find other ways to get their energy out before they go to school. That would be the best thing that I would say, is before they go to school, try to get their energy out, get them moving as much as possible, get them outside and get them doing something productive, because then they will be able to focus better. If you have any questions, just let me know. But I hope this helps.